Did the run with the deer flies, 25K today. Finished first overall in 2 hours, 13 minutes. A little bit slower than last year. I wasn't really trying or pushing hard today. I was just going to win. And I didn't feel like burning up energy and such. So I took it easy, so that's why my time was a little bit slow. I didn't really have anybody pushing me at all, except for like that first mile. Good crowd today, a lot of friends there. I know like the first mile when we're all like starting the race, my buddy AJ was doing the 15K, had some kid on his butt. Heard later he just dropped him at like 2.5 in. But I thought that was going to be a good battle, the way that kid like jumped on him in that first mile. And then I just let them go. I had no desire to try to catch them today or stick with them to see how that was going to play out. I was just going to do my race, do my thing, see how it goes. Because yesterday, when I burnt my legs up at that duathlon, I wasn't sure how my body was going to react. But it turns out I'm good. Was a little stiff starting out this morning, and I was just dragging a little bit. But after we started going, I got loosened up. And it felt good after that. But I really wasn't pushing, as I said. My heart rate did probably hit 160 at some point, but I was just trying to run relaxed and calm, keep it as low as possible so I could do active recovery while racing. And then after AJ and that kid dropped me like a mile or so into the race, maybe 2, when I lost sight of them, I really didn't see anybody else the rest of the race, well, behind me or in front of me. The only time I saw people was when they were heading out on sections that I've already done. So I pretty much ran the race by myself. Another lonely race. I mean, it's a good mix. It is a beginner-friendly race. Has a good mix of hills, some technical parts. Nothing too exuberant technically. It will burn your legs a little bit in certain sections, but it's not going to put you in that like danger zone where you're not going to be able to recover. Generally, they're rolling hills, except for a couple spots. I know this year a little bit different from previous years. For the first half of the race, they actually used American flags to mark the course, so they stood out pretty damn well. You could see them from a distance instead of just ribbons, which was really nice. You really didn't have to second guess yourself which way you were going. At least I didn't. Plus I knew the course and I had the GPX file loaded if I hesitated at all. Not much to really say about the first half of the race. If you never ran it, it's hard to explain. Nice little uphill right past where we start. My legs did burn a little bit. Now the first couple inclines I really did feel it until I got in the groove and slowed back some, you know, just to like keep that active recovery going in those zones. I know I did fall, well, I didn't fall, but I really good trip. Probably 6 miles into the race. I don't know how I saved my ass from just completely falling and busting open. That was really the only time that I tripped during the whole race. I hit a root or something that I just didn't see. I did slip a couple of times in some mud, but it wasn't anything that slowed me down. Took water and Gatorade at most aid stations, probably like 2 cups of each, just to stay hydrated. I don't want to get into the danger zone, but I did take my Naked Waste pack in 2 9-ounce bottles, so I was trying to conserve them a little bit when I could. I did use them. I might have used like 9 ounces of the 18, maybe 10 at the most. They were more for like emergency purposes or just to get to electrolytes that I wanted in my system instead of just Gatorade. It seemed to help. Yeah, I really didn't have any issues since I wasn't being pushed. I wasn't tripping, falling, and I was able to zone in on like the course flagging the whole time, even on the uphills, downhills. I really didn't walk any uphills the first half of the race. I just made sure that my legs didn't burn up. I'm trying to think. That's about it for the first half of the course. It's just like basically half of it's, well, like the first 8 miles or whatever are like an out and back. The rest are like a big loop. I can't even begin to tell you how it loops because I'm not too familiar. And then the second half of the race, there's a split. Bill was actually standing there today because I know last year people got confused because they can't read signs that say 15 and 25K. So he's actually standing there giving people directions this year. Some people, I guess, still wanted to go on the 25 course, even though he was there telling them to go to the 15. So whatever. On the 25K course, it went from American flags to ribbons. So you had to switch your mindset a little bit to what you were looking for. I didn't have any issues today. I mean, I didn't get lost. We'll put it that way. There was 2 spots I was kind of hesitant on because there was like a Y, and there was only like 1 ribbon, so I had to stop and actually look around to see which one was the right way. But I didn't get lost. I had 15, no, like 4 when I crossed the finish line. Basically, everybody else got lost today. I think they were just following each other, or it seemed like most people, because the second half of the course is basically on a hill. They wanted to drop down too early onto the flat part, like 10 and a half in when they should have not reached till like 12.2. But it happens. I did take my I don't want to say a break, but I did take it a lot easier on 2 of the inclines today, because I looked back, and I kept looking back a lot of the race on like some open sections, like where I could look back and get a good view. There was nobody there, so I did power walk up some of the 2 hills on the back half to save my legs. I was like, if nobody's pushing you, there's no point in burning your legs up, you know, and having an issue later on. So that's what I did. And then, I don't know, we were able to go across the below the rest of the dam today. They said before the race that they might not let us do it because of safety reasons, because it was a little bit high, but it wasn't too bad. It was below my knee when I crossed, at least where I did, and they had the rope. They actually put a rope across so people could hold on and get across, which made it a hell of a lot easier as well. It was a little bit tricky on the way back when we crossed the head to the finish, because the way the sun was hitting it, it was harder to read the rocks that you were stepping on. but I managed. I didn't trip. It was a little bit wetter on the second half as well, but without having pressure, I was able to like read the ground a lot better, read the flaggings a lot better, stuff like that. I just know, like, I think like 80% of the people got lost today, and I don't know. I mean, granted, I knew the course and I had the GPX file, even though there was like 1 or 2 slight changes from last year. But you know me, I generally have issues following a course, and I didn't. I know when I hit that aid station on that back side, like 2/10 from there, or 3/10, like 6 people started coming towards me, and I just told them they were going the wrong way. So I don't know what they all did. Like I said, I'm pretty sure everybody was trying to drop down off the hill before they were supposed to. That seems like really the only way to do it. And then after I saw like the people that I knew were like directly behind me, like position wise, like second and third, I was just like, all right, now you can definitely relax the last like 3 miles of the race, 3.5 on the flat, and just do my race, which was awesome. The whole time I was able to run a race that I wanted to run, and run comfortably, not redline. Not that it was hot out today, but I just really didn't feel like redlining or burning up. And then after the rest of the day on that last like 1.5 2 miles through the woods, that was a little bit trickier because it wasn't necessarily on trail. When I managed, if you just keep your head on the swivel and look for the ribbons, I didn't have any issues. But either way, I finished first. Got win number 199. So 1 more to go. I got a mug for being first. And a medal. And the traditional fly swatter. That's about it, I guess. I don't know, I just enjoy the race put on by the Indiana Roadrunners. Steve and Bill did a good job organizing it and flagging it today. I know I won it at least the 3rd time. I want to say it's the 4th time I've won it. Probably the 5th or 6th that I've ran it. It's only recently changed last year. So other than that, that's about it. I would check it out. It is, I would say, beginner friendly. So if you're looking for like a more beginner friendly course, this is one of those. It's pretty good to get your feet wet with a good mix of terrain. Even the 15K is a pretty good mix if you're building miles and such. I think that's about it for today. Keep this a little bit shorter. This really isn't much to talk about, like position wise, or race course wise, that I haven't said in previous years. I mean, it is a Yellow Creek State Park, so they have a nice mountain bike trail area over there, I guess, like trail system. If you're into mountain biking as well, a lot of the trails that we used are part of that mountain bike trail system. Yeah, guess that's it for today. But deer flies, first place.